Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Now, y'all loved the last Poppy Playtime video, so I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and make another one, but we're gonna have a little twist on it. Today, we're gonna be discussing whether or not some Poppy Playtime characters could survive in the real world. But before we actually start the video, I need to give you all some parameters, I guess. First off, is that there's like two environments that these characters are gonna be in, like a forest or a nature environment and in a suburban environment, right? Pretty much suburbs. And both of those environments are going to take play into their ranking on the tier list. But second off, their intelligence. Some of them have like human levels of intelligence, but others have like animal levels of intelligence. So those are also going to play into their ranking on the tier list. Other than that, we are actually good to begin the video now. So let's start off with Huggy Wuggy. Now, what's the first thing you notice about Huggy Wuggy? He's a big old blue thing, okay? He's a big old blue thing with red lips and teeth. Now, that is not going to camouflage well at all in a forest, all right? Literally any animal in a forest is going to see that thing. It's going to be like, nah, I'm going to go the other way. Because it's a big old blue thing. You can't sneak up. Like, if I dressed up as a Cookie Monster, you would see me coming from a mile away. If I dressed up as a ghillie suit, you wouldn't see me coming. But Huggy Wuggy doesn't really have a ghillie suit. And see, the thing is, I don't know what kind of intelligence he has, because it seems more animalistic, but he has like a little bit of human-like intelligence. So I'm just going to say animalistic. So he has more animalistic intelligence, which isn't going to do him too well in the nature forest environment. So that's going to bring him down a few tiers. But what about the suburban environment? And I'm going to be honest, he's not going to do too well here either, because like you can't hide. You can't be an ambush predator, and you also can't chase people down because you're going to get a shotgun to the face. So, I'm gonna be honest, I do not see Huggy. I do not see Huggy surviving too long, which is a crazy thing to say, but he can't really hunt anything in the forest unless he like hides in the water, which would be crazy. But hiding in the water is like his only bet, you know, hiding in the water, waiting for an animal to come up and he attacks it. That's like his only bet in the forest. But his only bet in like the suburban environment is to like get lucky, you know, get really lucky. And I'm gonna be honest, getting lucky when you're trying to survive, that's not, you don't want to bet on getting lucky to survive. So we're gonna have to put him into C tier. Next up though, we have Poppy Playtime. Well, I'm gonna be honest, if you saw a doll that acted like a human being, I am stomping its head in. Like, you're not letting that into your household. You're not gonna listen to that thing. Or you're either stomping its head in or you're going the exact opposite way. Alright? So suburbs, Poppy's kind of cooked. In nature, yeah, like literally any animal is just gonna like destroy Poppy, dude. So like Poppy doesn't really have a chance of surviving. The only chance I see Poppy surviving this is if like some random kid convinces their parents to keep her. But like if I was a parent, I would not let my child keep Poppy, you know, because it's literally a doll that acts like a human being, which is really, really creepy. And also it looks very human-like, which is also very creepy. So I literally do not see Poppy surviving this. So she's going straight into F tier. Next up though, we have Mommy Longlegs. Now, what's the first thing you think of when you see Mommy Longlegs? Big old pink spider thing. Now, you might be thinking that it's like similar to Huggy, you know, where she's kind of cooked. But if y'all remember chapter 2, she's like very stretchy and not in a weird way. So the fact that she can just hide into trees, and when an animal comes by, you just yoink them up and eat them. You know, that's literally all she has to do is to survive in the nature and forest environment. The urban environment's going to be a bit more difficult because like it's a giant pink spider, you know, pretty much the size of a car. So no matter what, you can't really camouflage in there. Like even if you hid in a tree, it's going to be kind of hard for someone to not, like I feel like I would notice if there's a giant pink spider in my tree when I'm coming home from work, you know. So urban environments, I don't really know, but big old butt. She has human levels of intelligence. So she could probably set traps, you know, manipulate people, insert thing, heal. She has human levels of intelligence. So that's going to put her up into B tier, I'm going to be honest. She was going to go into C tier, but because she has human intelligence, well, that's like huge, dude. That is huge. She's going to go into B tier on the survival tier list. Next up, though, we have the goat Pianosaurus. Now, it's literally a dinosaur, right? How would a plastic toy dinosaur do IRL? Like, it's kind of self-explanatory. Nature, it's probably going to do pretty good, especially because if you look at it, it's pretty green. Out of all the creatures on this list, Pianosaurus is going to camouflage the best, right? So in nature, it's going to do pretty good. It's literally just going to act like a dinosaur probably would. Also because it has like a more animalistic intelligence levels. So it's just going to act like an animal would in nature. So in nature, it's pretty good. But at IRL, not IRL, but in the urban environments, it's not going to do too well. If you see a giant dinosaur coming at you that looks like this, you're sliming it out, all right? Maybe that's why Doey slimed it out. Maybe he's sliming it out to protect people. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm going to be honest. Pianosaurus is going to go in with Huggy Wuggy because it's going to do really well in the nature environments, but in the urban environments, I don't know. It's going to have to get lucky, which, again, not going to cut it for this video. Next up, though, we have Yarnaby, and this is pretty much a giant yarn tiger thing, which is also, you know, like the size of a car or a small car. Nature, I think it's gonna do pretty well. It's not really camouflaged for nature, so it's like the size of a bear. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's intimidating. It could probably hunt some things, but like, I don't know. Like most animals, like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like this. It acts like a lion. It's the size of a bear, and you'd think that would be good, but it's like rainbow colors. It can't really camouflage, can't really blend in. It could probably fight. It could definitely take out a bear. I think Yarnaby could take out a bear, but like, I don't think it could catch anything because like bears, they eat berries, you know, they eat fish, all that jazz. I mean, of course they occasionally hunt prey, but like they're not suited for that, you know, and Yarnaby isn't really suited for that. Even also in urban environments, I think it's just kind of cooked. Like, yeah, it's going to cause some devastation, but like, it's going to get hunted down. You know, if this thing steps foot into a suburb, the local militia is taking it down. So I think it's going to do decent in nature, but it's going to do pretty poorly into suburbs. So we're going to have to put him into D tier. And also, you know, it acts like a lion, obviously animal levels of intelligence. Next up, though, we have PJ Pug-a-Pillar. And I'm going to look at you with a straight face. This is a fucking caterpillar with a dog on its head. It's not surviving. I'm sorry. It's just not surviving. It's that simple because look at it. This thing isn't going to be able to hunt no humans, right? And this thing isn't going to be able to hunt anything in nature, right? Like it might get lucky. It might get really, really lucky, but again, that's just not going to cut it, dude. Like, imagine a giant caterpillar trying to hunt you down. Like, in the games, yeah, it's scary. It's very spooky. It's a very good chase scene and whatever, but like, IRL, if you're just walking down the street and you see a giant caterpillar coming at you, like, it's not really fast. You can outrun it. So it's like, there's no way it's catching you, dude. And it has animal levels of intelligence, so it's not going to, you know, build a trap or like trick you or something. Like, it's just going to chase you like an animal. So it's not going to catch you because you're faster. And in nature, it's a giant purple and blue caterpillar. Like, that's not going to be able to hunt anything. I'm sorry. I think it does have slightly better odds than Poppy, but I'm sorry to all the PJ Pug-a-Pillar fans. It's going into E tier. Next up, though, we have my goat, Boxy Boo. Please put him in a game already other than Project Playtime. But with the actual ranking, nature, it's 50-50. It is a brightly colored box, so it's not really going to blend in, but he does hide in the box and like surprise attack things, which, you know, if it's just a box that's moving still in the woods, most animals like probably wouldn't like avoid it. So if like, you know, an animal comes close like a deer, Boxy Boo jumps out, eats it, you know, it's pretty good in nature. But the suburbs is where it gets tricky because he could just sit on someone's porch as a box, or like in someone's room as a box, and when they walk in, you know, eat them. But would anyone actually fall for that? Like, if you're telling me if you saw just a box in your room that you've never seen there before, and it looks like this, you're gonna go investigate? No, I'm leaving. I'm not investigating that. But some people would. So I'm gonna give Boxy Boo the benefit of the doubt, and I think we're gonna put him into B tier because like his intelligence, it's kind of a mix because I think it's animalistic, but the fact that the player can control him in Project Playtime, and obviously the player has human levels of intelligence, you know, it kind of makes its intelligence confusing. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say he has human-ish levels of intelligence, and we're going to put him into B tier. Moving on, though, we have Doey the Doughman. Let me tell you, you could get the army on Doey, and he would still probably come out on top. Not the entire army, you know, maybe like a few soldiers or something. He's still coming out on top, dude. And I'm gonna make this specific or clear, I guess. I'm talking about his like angry, evil version. All right, the version that chases you at the end of chapter 4. That thing is probably gonna stop a tank, dude. I don't know. Well, I mean, unless the tank shoots it first. But like, dude, it's literally a giant bear-sized thing made of Play-Doh. You can't shoot it with a shotgun. That's not taking him down, you know. And it's pretty fast. You like the things you needed to do to take him down in the game. Like, that's crazy. You're not going to be able to do that in the suburbs, dude. And by the time, you know, military or any force capable of taking him down shows up, he's going to be long gone, right? Unless he's stupid. But the thing is, he has human levels of intelligence. So he's not stupid. He's dipping, all right? Once he realizes something's going on, he's dipping. He's getting out of there. And then, of course, you know, he's going to survive pretty good in nature, considering, I mean, maybe. I think he's going to do slightly worse in nature because he's a giant thing of Play-Doh pretty much. And that doesn't exactly blend in well with the environment, but like, he's also pretty huge, you know. And also he has a stretchy arms kind of deal like that too. But then again, we're talking about the aggro version. Or I guess the angry version. Yeah, we're the aggressive. There we go. We're talking about the aggressive version. But still, like, dude, he's going to be able to chase some things down. Like, I can't even lie. We're going to have to put him into S tier. And of course, normal Doey would go into S tier too. Because like, if you saw a giant Doughman pull up at your house that looks like Frosty the Snowman, I'm chilling with him. I'm sorry, I'm chilling with him. I do not care. So that's why he's going to the S tier. Next up, though, we have Catnap, also my goat. And I'm going to be honest, you might think it's a similar situation to Huggy, but it isn't, all right? Well, on one hand, Catnap has human levels of intelligence. I'm 90% sure he does. So, you know, he's going to be able to hunt things. He's going to be able to stalk things, you know, like a cat, I guess. He's going to be able to make plans and traps. Well, maybe not traps, but you get what I'm saying. He's going to be able to think like a human and hunt, I guess, like a human. So, nature, he's probably pretty good. In suburbs, he's probably pretty good. But if you add in the fact of his red mist, all right, he has the red mist that puts things to sleep. Literally, he could just walk into a town, activate his red mist, make everyone go to sleep, and have Thanksgiving dinner. All right, it's that simple. And then, of course, in nature, rinse and repeat, do the same thing. Now, the only reason I'm not putting Catnap into S tier is because of one thing. I'm pretty sure you could take him out with like a shotgun or something. So if you're not asleep and you pull out your pew or whatever, and you shoot him in the mouth, you might take him out because like the prototype stabbed him there and killed him like that. So yeah, it's going to be very difficult and very hard to accomplish. But if you're not sleeping and he's for some reason hasn't activated that gas, you have a chance. All right, because S tier is like no chance this thing isn't surviving. But A tier, there is a small chance that it might die. So that is exactly where we're going to have to put Catnap. Last but certainly not least, though, we have the prototype. And obviously human levels of intelligence. But I forgot to mention this. I'm 99% sure both Poppy Playtime herself and the prototype don't need to eat. So just take that in consideration with what I'm about to say. He's going straight into S tier. I'm like literally straight into S tier because on one hand, he's pretty much a genius, right? He is the prototype. He's the main villain of the games. Second off, though, of course, human levels of intelligence, doesn't need to eat. And then fourth, like, this guy survived a train crashing and exploding pretty much unscathed. He was a little burned. Other than that, he was pretty good. So, yeah, you're going to need the military. But by the time the military pulls up, he's smart enough to be gone, right? And of course, in nature, it's the prototype. He's going to be able to hunt whatever he wants. He's not going to be fast, though, which is kind of, against him. But he's also like the prototype. He's pretty much a genius. He's going to be able to figure out traps and get him food if he needs to. But the thing is, he doesn't need to. So he doesn't even need to go in nature unless he's running. So he's pretty much only going to the suburbs to mess with people. Like he could literally just go sit in a cave if he wanted to for the rest of time, I guess. And he'd be good, which is why we're going to put him into S tier, dude. It's kind of these top two, Doey and the prototype, they're kind of overpowered. But for a good reason, because they're goats. But that is going to be the end of today's video. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. But in case you don't do that, and in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.